President Muhammadu Buhari on Saturday says he's worried about the security situation in the country, and he says the security chiefs can do better. He's asking for more. And today, the chief imam of Benin has endorsed the governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, praises him for his efforts in the governance of the state. But what does that mean in the scheme of things ahead of the governorship election on September the 19th? We discuss that, and we follow the conversation on the race for the governorship seat. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us tonight. Thank you so much, and welcome to the program. This is Politics Today, live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Kimbaloye in Lagos. Happy Saturday to all of our Muslim brothers and sisters, wherever you may be watching. Welcome to the show. Let's give you some information as regarding the politics of Nigeria. It's Saturday, but President Buhari is perhaps not 100% on some of the agenda of his government on security and anti-corruption war. He wants the heads of security agencies to do more. The president, alongside his family members and some of his aides, marked the Eid al-Kabir celebration by observing the Eid prayers within the presidential villa in Abuja. He touched on security issues, and he's worried for the state of things.
I wish Nigerians the best of luck, and in the Eid al-Fitr, Eid al-Kabir sermon, the Imam has said it all. We want security, prosperity, and well-being of all Nigerians. And I want Nigerians to be very conscious of their country. And what we inherited when we came 2015 was Boko Haram Northeast and the militants in the South. Nigerians know that we have done our best. What is coming up in Northwest and North Central is very, very disturbing indeed. But I believe the military and the police and other law enforcement agencies, I think they could do much better. They could do much better. But we are keeping them on the alert all the time to do their duties.
On the issue of corruption war, President Buhari acknowledged that there has been abuse of trust in his administration and the previous one. Take a listen to the president on the issue of anti-corruption.
There has been abuse of trust by people trusted by the previous administration and this administration. A number of assets have been recovered and some money, but we have introduced TSA, Treasury Single Account, where all the monies are taken. And I said assets should be sold and the money be put through TSA, Treasury Single Account, so that it can be identified at any level. And I will see who will come after us and take it back again to those who misappropriate public funds.
That is the atmosphere when former Imo State Governor Emeka Ihedioha returned to Owerri, the Imo State capital, for the first time in 6 months. After 6 months of being away from the state since the Supreme Court judgment in January this year that nullified his election as the governor of Imo State, Mr. Ihedioha is back in Imo State to attend the People's Democratic Party State Congress scheduled for the 1st of August 2020, and also to attend the burial of former Minister of Federal Republic of Nigeria, Dr. Innocent Nwolga. Upon his arrival at the Sam Mbakwe Airport in Owerri, the Imo State capital, the former governor was well received by indigents of the state and some of his supporters. Well, let's go to tonight. I'll take you again to Edo State. Just relax and enjoy the ride tonight, because for the next few weeks or so, we shall be looking into the politics of Edo State, the governance issues there, and the governorship race, which, of course, several political parties have thrown their hat in the ring. What do they offer to the people of the state, and what are they talking about ahead of that race? Yesterday, we spoke to the Deputy Governor, Philip Shuaib. But earlier today, the Edo State Governor, Godwin Obaseki, played host to the Chief Imam of Benin, Abdul Fattah Enabulele, and Muslim leaders at the government house in Benin City. The Chief Imam offered special prayers to Governor Obaseki as the state governorship election approaches, while also endorsing the governor for a second term in office. Take a listen to what the Chief Imam said to the governor.
The administration has provided progressive, pragmatic, dynamic policies and programs for the lives of millions of people positively across the state and beyond. Under your leadership, Edo people have witnessed absolute commitment, sincerity of purpose, honesty, respect for the rule of law, transparency, and accountability in practical terms in Edo State.
Well, the governor, on his, when he was responding to the Chief Imam and those who came, was asking his political adversaries to steer clear of political violence in the state.
My message to you this Salah is that please take this issue of COVID-19 seriously. If you just observe the regulations, particularly older people, if you make sure that you keep physical distance, as we have done in this hall, you use hand sanitizers regularly, or you wash your hands regularly, and you try not to go out too much and stay in place where there are too many people, you are not likely to get the virus. God wanted and wants a new beginning for us in Edo. That is why he brought someone like me, who did not know and cannot accept the way they used to behave. They are planning violence. They are bringing arms. They are intimidating our supporters. That is part of their strategy. They know that in a free and fair election, they stand no chance. Therefore, their strategy is to continue with propaganda and lies, and lies and lies. But you know, no matter how many times you tell a lie, it can never become the truth.
Well, the ruling PDP before today in Edo State believes that the opposition party, the APC, is relying on federal might in its quest to win the governorship election. You know, you heard the governor there also saying that there are importation of arms and ammunition into the state ahead of the September the 19th governorship election in the state. So let's speak to the head of the media of the Ize-Iyamu and APC governorship campaign organization and the former member of the House of Representatives, Honorable Patrick Obahiagbon. He joins us from Benin City. Yesterday we spoke with the Deputy Governor. Let's hear from the other side of the divide now in the race towards the governorship election in Edo State. Thank you so much indeed, Honorable Obahiagbon, for joining us tonight on the program. Let me begin by asking you, get your reaction to what the governor has said, or perhaps first and foremost, to the endorsement that we saw on that clip from the Chief Imam of Benin. What does this mean for the PDP and by implication, your party? Does your party stand a chance with that kind of endorsement?
Well, looking at that endorsement, it pales into thin insignificance and political vacuity in juxtapose with the armada and heterogeneous political imprimatur that has greeted the candidacy of Pastor Osagie Ize-Iyamu and the APC for a period of Sundays now, or if you like, for a period of iron. I am sure that your correspondent in Benin would have given a cornucopious reportage of the vaudeville of endorsements that we are getting on a daily basis. Is it not maniacally bewildering, for example, that in Oredo local government, where Governor Obaseki comes from, we have 12 councillors. 7 of the councillors in Oredo local government only a few days ago swore motto by themselves, that is, came to Pastor Sage Zeyamu to say we pass a vote of confidence on you. Our salaries can be put perpetually in seppuku. We don't mind. We will not kowtow before any intimidation. We will not kowtow before any blackmail. And what is interesting to you, Mr. Shehu, and what the whole world should realize, that among those 7 councillors, the councillor from Ward 4 come from Governor Obaseki's ward, and we are talking about perpetual endorsements. That speaks volumes. In Benin, there's a Benin parable which says, which means charity begins at home. If in your own local government, 7 out of 12 councillors are saying they are not going to go for you. Oh, my brother.
Honorable Obayagbon, if you speak specifically to the endorsement from a religious leader in Edo State an Islamic cleric who was speaking so much of the governance of Governor Obaseki, and you said that it's insignificant?
I didn't say that the endorsement from religious leaders is insignificant. I am saying that if you weigh that against the welter of multiplicity of endorsements that the Zeyamu candidacy have gotten, then you will not place much premium on anybody that is endorsing Governor Obaseki. And in any case, let me say to you that we have the endorsement of the ecclesiastical class in Edo State. And in the next couple of days preceding the election, you will find out that even when it comes to episcopal or theological endorsement, we have it. Don't forget that Pastor Sage Zeyamu is a coruscating pastor of the Redeemed Church. We have the endorsement of the religious establishment. Having said that, Shehu, let me respond to the issue of violence that Governor Obaseki talked about.
Honorable Obayagbon, so just a moment before we go into the issue of violence. Still talking about endorsement, we saw the visit of the governor and PDP leaders to the home at the palace of the monarch of Benin, the Oba of Benin, and you saw what happened. Does your candidate have the blessing of the Oba of Benin?
His Royal Majesty, the Oba of Benin, is a neutral traditional king. The Oba does not endorse anybody. The Oba prays for all his subjects. But if you watch his prayers very meticulously, he will say that may the candidate that will bring freedom, may the candidate that will bring economic prosperity to my kingdom, may that candidate have the blessing of the great grand architect of the universe. So we cannot situate or locate the visit of PDP to His Royal Majesty to mean an endorsement. And in any case, the APC is yet to carry out its state flag campaign. When we do that, we will equally visit His Royal Majesty.
Okay, so let's take a breather. When we come back, Honorable Obayagbon, we will be talking about the allegations that your party is responsible of inviting violence in the state and the allegations of importation of arms and ammunition ahead of the governorship election in that state. Of course, some of the reactions that we will also be getting from you from yesterday's interview with the deputy governor on the governorship race in Edo State. Don't go anywhere, everyone. We'll be right back. Thank you so so much, everyone, for staying with us. Let's get back to the conversation with Honorable Patrick Obaye-Agbon of the APC. Yesterday, we had a conversation with the Deputy Governor of Edo State, the running mate to the PDP governorship candidate in the race. So we're getting some of the reactions now from Honorable Obaye-Agbon. Thank you so much indeed for talking to us tonight. So you're confident about some of the endorsement that have not come up for your party and for your candidate, but you're speaking about what we could see in the future. Let's speak about what has happened in recent past, the violence that we saw outside of the palace of the Oba of Benin, and the allegations that your party is inviting violence into the race, especially the allegations from the governor that your party is arming thugs and bringing in arms and ammunition. How would you react to that?
I will speak to the issue of the alleged violence, but before I do that, let me quickly put the record straight, Shehu, that every year it is a practice of the Muslim clerics to pay a Salah visitation to the incumbent governor of Edo State. That has been the yearly practice. So what you saw today was a consuetudinal practice, customary practice, if you like. So it is part of the traditional Guebelian Spain from Usadebe Avenue to transmogrify what is a traditional ritual to amount to an endorsement. So that in itself is not even an endorsement. It was merely reiterating a traditional ritual. Having said that,
Honorable Obaye-Agbon, I understand that this happens in the corridors of power. Religious leaders visit leaders and festive period. But the language and the tonality of the message of the chief imam is a bit different. I'll allow you to listen to it again and probably be able to contextually speak to it. Take a listen to it again. That soundbite from the chief imam.
The administration has provided progressive, pragmatic, dynamic policies and programs for the lives of millions of people positively across the state and beyond. Under your leadership, Edo people have witnessed absolute commitment, sincerity of purpose, honesty, respect for the rule of law, transparency, and accountability in practical terms in Edo State.
My message to you this Salah is that please take this issue of COVID-19 seriously. If you just observe the regulations, particularly older people.
So you heard there, Honorable Obaye-Agbon, it does not look like it's the usual message or homage that you see on the Salah day.
No, I say capital rejectamenta to your rendition of that asseveration. If the chief imam and the Muslim cleric had visited Mr. Governor on an ordinary day, outside Salah day, I probably would have said that was an endorsement. I am telling you that I have been part and parcel of what happens here in Edo State. That was a traditional ritual of going to pay Salah homage to Mr. Governor. I did not expect on such ambience, where courtesies are supposed to be extended to the governor, the man would have been saying otherwise. That is not an endorsement, my brother. It is not an endorsement. Take that from me. Take that from me. You can lift my assertion on that to the status of a Roman locuta et cosa finita et. It's not an endorsement.
So let's talk about the issue of violence. The allegation that your party is planning violence on the state. How do you react to that?
If there is anybody that should be carpeted, if there is anybody that should be poo-pooed, if there is anybody that should be excoriated about the possibility of violence, it is the government of Godwin, the government of Godwin Obaseki. Because this government has shown a propensity for violence in words and in action. And I speak to this propensity for violence in words and action. In a democracy, a man is looking for a second term. And the man goes to Mount Olympus, like Emperor Nero, or like Otto von Bismarck, and says, my second term is non-negotiable. My second term is a must. In a democracy, that's a language of violence. A sitting governor says, anywhere adversarial political forces congregate, you should crush them. Is head on record saying this. That's a language of violence. You inaugurate 5 members of the House of Assembly Vietnamese by force of arms, that is, at nocturnal hours, under a violent political atmosphere. Those who have the right to dissent, they gathered at Royal Tulip Hotel. You led state goons, led by your then chief security officer and your operation Bicycle, which has been drastically and systematically weaponized to go and lacerate and flagellate and assault members of the House of Assembly elect. And that governor is talking about violence. You go to Abuja, you grant a world press conference to say your political mentor and benefactor, who was national chairman of your party at that particular point in time, you say categorically that he does not have the right to come to Edo State. If he must enter Edo State, he must take permission from you. And when the man came to Edo State, you mobilized youth to go and block the airport. And when the man left the airport and went to his house, you mobilized troops in a dead devil, Aram Scarum modus, troops bearing environmental task force of the state government, both the ingress and egress of the streets. What are we talking about?
Are you planning to respond in the same manner? If you have raised these issues, how are you planning to react to this?
So what?
No, you have highlighted the things that you thought were wrong, and according to you, they are provoking violence. How does your party hope to react to some of these issues?
You can say the government is not campaigning. If there's anybody that's campaigning, it's Pastor Sage Zemu and the APC. Comrade Adams Ali Oshomole has relocated to Abuja to join Comrade Adams to join Pastor Osage Zemu in his campaign. They are campaigning from all the nooks and crannies of the streets in Benin.
All right, perhaps we should drop.
Our simple agenda. We are speaking to our simple agenda on a daily basis.
So let me. You mentioned Comrade Oshomole, and when Comrade Oshomole was seen on camera kneeling before some Benin monarchs, perhaps if we can show you what it looked like on TV. Some have interpreted it that there was a mistake made in the part that the comrade is apologizing for. Are you preaching apology to the people of the state for what error has your party committed in the past? If you can quickly react to this in 30 seconds.
Comrade Ali Oshomole on that occasion spoke to the issues while he was on his knees begging the Nigerians and everybody verbatim at him. If I attempt to paraphrase him, the man said it was a mistake selling the candidacy of Godwin, Norevase or Bataki to the people of Edo State. Forgive me for selling him to you. I didn't know that he would disappoint. I didn't know he would become an emir of Transjordan. I didn't know that the man would not listen to the people. I didn't know that it will not work on the policy of continuity, which we preached. It was for these reasons and other reasons.
Honorable Abayagbo, so if he's apologizing for his past words, so what should we believe now?
What? I didn't hear that.
If he's apologizing for selling Governor Obaseki, should we believe what he's saying now about Pastor Ezeyamu?
Why should we not believe? In any case,
unlike Godwin Obaseki, who was a political zoomer from the north at that particular point in time, who was unknown. So Shomole had to engage in political overdrive to sell his candidacy. This time, Pastor Sage Nzeyamu is known to everybody. Shomole is not the ticket.
All right.
They are busy objecting. They are busy besmirking this political simulacrum of Shomole.
Honorable Patrick Abayagbon.
Sage Nzeyamu is the man on the ballot. And by the grace of God,
We must leave it at that because we are obviously out of time. But Honorable Patrick Abayagbon is the head of the media committee of the Edo APC campaign organization and a former member of the House of Representatives. Thank you so much, Honorable Abayagbon, for your time tonight. Well, that's how we leave it tonight, everyone. It's Friday and the festivities are still on. Do enjoy the rest of your evening, everyone. Bye for now.